This is continuing on from the last video about texturing the Chinese building. So after I've done the walls, I started doing on the cylinders which are on top of the walls. Obviously, just go through round, just texturing the whole thing really. Just kept doing the same thing, and then I'll start making the scene at the end, set up ready for rendering. Um, Obviously, these are the stalls to put into render. Um, Again, very similar to the wall ones, it's just concrete, and then I just copy and paste it over the object over after it was done, as it's the most simplest thing to really do, really. Yeah, else on the pillars, just got to just redo the UVs there, just add some extra UVs, just do the pillars again. It's all concrete, so it's all very straightforward. It's just copy and pasting, really. Just make sure everything's all fine, it all looks good. So yeah, so just go through, just setting up the scene. Maya on this, it crashed a few times, which is really annoying. But luckily, I kept saving because it crashed when I was modelling it, and I lost about 30 minutes of work. So instead, I just like save, Control S, Control S, Control S, constantly. On this bit, this was just Jack he needed some help, and I left my screen recorder on, so just ignore this bit. So ignore this bit. This is just his camera track. I think we're now going back. Yeah, now we're back to just texturing again. So yeah, just ignore that bit. That was just roommate Jack to sort of. I was helping him out with some stuff, so I forgot to turn off my screen recorder. So back to just putting all the textures together. Just following the reference image constantly, really. But this was the wooden ceiling bit, which was white in the reference image. So look, the wood texture I downloaded is the same one I got for the Brock Tower. I really like that wooden texture. It's very unique. You get a lot of detail in it. Again, Maya just crashed then. And here I was making the middle stall, and I thought I could do a glass top. I thought I'm going to try and get a marble texture. And the first texture fired, I couldn't load it. It was weird, so I had to get a second texture marble, which luckily it says you can change the colour over. So marble textures, like, they're quite cool. It's very reflective. So yeah, just putting it all together really. Getting it all sorted. Just rendering out, making sure it's all fine. Maya crashed again. It was kept crashing. It really did not like this model one bit, really. So yeah, so just adding lights, just making sure the scene looks alright, and all that. So and I realised I didn't texture the top part of the model, so I just added gold to it. I thought, oh, it's just going to be, so I just joined it, made it blend. I just made Momo gold. The top bit only gets seen from the distance, so I wasn't spending much time on that. So at first, when I tried to create the landscape, I'd sculpt it to make it look realistic and like it was in a mountain range. And when I tried to texture, as you see in a minute, Maya just wasn't having it at all. It was like, oh no. Every time I tried to render it, it just wouldn't render. It said invalid texture file, which is weird because I did it 3 times or 2 times, and the texture files were fine. So as you'll see, after I've done all this 2 times, I had to retexture it, put it all in. Just Maya was just not happy with it at all because the sculpting, which is really annoying. But I found it worked great. It just doesn't look like sculpting. It looks realistic. It looks like mountains, jagged edges and stuff. You can see like Maya just crashes, wasn't rendering it out. It was very frustrating, really. Like there, just blue screen, and it wasn't accepting the texture file. So it's just really annoying. So then I thought, okay, let me just try this and this, to make sure it's not the tower itself. I realised it wasn't the lights either. So it must have been the ground plate. So I put the ground plate, and I was like, okay, if I don't put texture on, will it render? Yeah, it renders. So it's definitely texture. So I go back into Substance. I'll just try it all again, and it just wasn't having it. So I go back into Substance, just redo it, just re-export it really. Try a different file bit, see if that would work. And you'll see the result in a minute that it didn't. There we go, Maya just crashes, wasn't having it. So I thought it's probably the sculpting, so I just made the plane. I was checking the plane works, just lifted up the edges. So I had to do it that way, which was really annoying because it looks very artificial, but it's the best I could do really. So that was a bit annoying of the scene, but yeah, that's that with texturing.